What up?
What up?
Nice.
So, yeah, episode 2 of the Notes podcast, dude. I guess I'm here with Aida Jade, sick artist, sick person,
Sick stuff.
sick individual. Awesome. But no, yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know how to start these. I literally never know how to start these. But I guess we can just talk about how we met, how we know each other.
Oh,
how,
heck yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we went to an art school. We went to art school in downtown Phoenix, and I was friends with their older sister, and then I got to know them, and I was like, oh, sick, they skate. Derek skates. Derek does camera stuff.
I was doing camera stuff. We were in multiple classes together too, like choir and stuff.
Oh yeah, I was like,
yeah.
What classes? Oh,
yeah,
I forgot.
just
We were
choir
in
mainly.
together.
Did you play trumpet? I forgot.
Yeah, for 1 year in 6th grade.
I think we might have been.
I remember I would always
too.
pop around to Mr. Sanchez's classes, so I do know that. But yeah, no, my mom tried to sign me up for saxophone because there's no guitar, obviously, for 6th graders at the time. Yeah. So we were trying to find something in between, and my brother had a saxophone, so they were like, "You should do saxophone." She signed me up for trumpet, so I walk in with a saxophone on the first day at a brand new school. Spilt gasoline on myself that day because it was the first day my mom made me do her own gas pumping, you know.
Oh damn.
Yeah, the very first day was my first day learning how to do it, but she didn't tell me that it doesn't just click off when it's done. Yeah. So that shit spilled all over me.
Damn. That's oof.
Yeah, but I ended up doing trumpet, and that was cool for a whole 2 years.
And then you switched to guitar later. Yeah. I don't want to just be like school, but I feel like that's a good
we can always cut
segue
stuff
to be
out.
100%. But yeah, and then recently you hosted the show that we did here a couple days ago on the last episode. I was talking to Jamie about it, Morningstar. And yeah, his little release party / birthday type of thing that he did with our friend Lipton and other guitar player and stuff, and you performed at that and absolutely killed it.
That's crazy.
Actually absolutely killed it. We were damn.
I was so nervous.
Yeah, really?
No, I was so nervous because I don't know, I'm much more of a songwriter. I feel like I like writing songs, I like producing, I like working with other people in bands, and then I don't always perform stuff. I don't know. I'm not a big performer, and then any performance that I do is always either stuff from high school or college, doing jazz band stuff, or doing stuff in high school, or then just being an accompaniment, you know, playing guitar or playing piano or doing backup stuff. Never just me and my songs. And then also I don't even have an amp to practice at home, so using an amp that wasn't mine and figuring out the sounds was really fun, and also just super intimidating because everybody sounded so good and so put together, and they were real bands, and I was just sitting up there, me and my guitar. Thank God you came up first because I was like, oh shit.
Nah, dude, it was really good, and it was sick because it was the shows that we've thrown in the past and everything. It's a lot of rap show people and punk show people and all this stuff, blah blah blah, and then Lipton, the guitarist, he came up and he was like, I swear to God, I almost just cried. I was like, you're the last person I would expect to come up and say that, but it was super impressive. You absolutely killed it.
People were so nice.
Yeah, no, it was a good night. It was a really good night. So thank you for hosting. Thank you for performing.
Anytime.
It was super sick, and
I feel like I like hosting stuff. I want to do more hosting shows and playing shows. I like playing with you. I think it's crazy that we never played a song together. Yeah. We just kind of threw it together and it worked.
Yeah, because we made a song together, or not made a song together. But
pretty much, because you wrote the whole drum part, and it changed what the entire song was a lot. Guess.
But yeah, I don't know. It was just, it's weird because that's actually because we only reconnected last year that you texted me?
It was probably last year, and I was like, you drum? That's crazy because it's impossible to find drummers, dude.
Yeah, I've
especially
noticed
ones that are trying to do things. Half of them are in so many bands already. You're in bands and stuff, but you show up when you say you're gonna show up, which is I get it, we're all musicians, it's hard, but
yeah. But no, you sent me that, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm super down to get on this. It was super good. And then my house flooded. I don't know if I told you about that. My house flooded, and I had to
Over there, your apartment?
Yeah,
Oh, no.
yeah. So while they were working on that, we had to live in like a hotel for a while, and like me and my mom, we were just.
Your poor mom probably had to fight for that hotel to be covered.
It was it was rough for sure. But then I was like, I felt bad I didn't do anything on it, and then literally came back to it like, what was it, 6 months later or something?
6 months later, I totally had forgotten about it, but it was like a really like fun little, oh my god. And then when I opened it, and it was actually like so flushed out, because you never know, not a lot of people who play drums are always good at recording their own drums too.
Yeah
But it was good enough that I was like,
I know, it like fit the vibe weirdly enough,
really
even
good.
though it was like literally just in my studio with the muted shit, and I like threw a microphone in the kick, and then just it ended up kind of working. So we gotta write more.
I want to write more. I want to play with you and Jamie too. Like
Yeah.
I'm trying to do more like rocky stuff, or just get more people to like. Sometimes I'm like today like writing songs, and I'm like, man, if only I had somebody else here to like give me a good direction, because there's a million ways I could take this in.
Right. Yeah. That's one thing I definitely want to like. We gotta get together and just write and like produce some stuff too, because I'm on that wave.
Yeah,
I'm on the wave. It'll be super dope. So you have a project out that I was actually listening to it on my way here, because I was like,
Yes,
but
one project.
Yeah, that was released a year ago now, because it was March 14th of last year. I was looking at it, which is also crazy, because that's the first Morning Star song, March 14th of this year. So
really?
I was like, I was
That's
like,
crazy.
what the hell? So funny coincidence, weird coincidence. But yeah, happy 1 year on the demo tape. That's fucking sick.
Maybe we're all on the same like little wavelength of creativity.
For real,
You know, like where
yeah.
you have a Scorpio, you're like, oh, your parents got it on during Valentine's Day. Like you just know if they're like an October Scorpio, you're like, so you know, you were conceived, if not on Valentine's Day, very close to it.
Very close.
But yeah, no, maybe it's like one of those things. But yeah, one. Plenty of unreleased stuff. I've done stuff with like J Ford and stuff, but it definitely never encapsulated really like what I wanted to do. And even the Demos album doesn't do that, I wouldn't think.
Right.
It's just a really good example of like my attempt at songwriting and just trying to like strip everything down. One of the issues I had, like I think coming into myself as an artist, was that I learned kind of how to songwrite through DAWs. So like I wrote a lot, especially because I started before I was a lot better at playing and singing and doing other things. Like not that I'm amazing yet, but like I was very bad when I was younger. So like I relied heavily on quantization, and like I wrote everything into, and I also didn't like to show anybody, so it's not like I have anybody playing anything back to me. So I relied heavily on writing inside of a DAW, and I feel like in a lot of ways that was super helpful because I learned a ton, but it was also super, super detrimental because playing live, impossible to figure out unless you really sit down and think about that.
Yeah.
And so my goal for that Demos album was just like, I want to write all my songs before I go sit down and record them. Like I want to write them all on guitar and myself and write everything down. And then when I go record, then I can go off and go crazy all I want in post. But I want to make sure that the core, there is a song that's playable.
Right. Yeah. That's something I'm terrible at, to be honest. Because everything, like you said, like through DAWs, I literally just like go in, produce something, and then I'm like, okay, what can I throw over this? What can I try to write to like get this to
make
sense? And then sometimes, like half the time,
and then you're just writing almost for the DAW. It feels like you're almost like you start off with a really good idea, you get into it, and then at least for me, I get like kind of perfection-y about like getting the perfect take, and it's like, girl, you can re-record this. In fact, like so many of these songs that I spent so long sitting down and making sure every take was perfect, I'm going to go back and I'm probably going to re-record all these anyway.
Yeah.
So it's just like, and then you end up writing stuff just to fit into what works with what you're doing, instead of just being like, when you sit down with a band, and I feel like that's what's the pro part about like having a band and having a group of friends you can jam with in person,
right,
is that you get to flush out that stuff live, and then once you play it live and you feel like you know it. Whereas when you're alone staring, it's like kind of just staring at a painting, but just one speck.
Right.
And so you lose sense of what's the entirety of the picture.
Yeah. So talk about J Ford, right?
Yes.
That was, I kind of saw what you were doing at the time. I don't know that much about it though. Like I know the people that were involved.
So like that was definitely like a lot of like Alex Tucci's thing. That was Tucci's thing. I think at the time they were doing like this Rabbit Peters project. I don't know if they're still doing that. But yeah, he was super into the idea that this little group of friends that we had started doing music together, because I was trying to put out like my first little SoundCloud thing. And we ended up like starting a little collective together, which was really cool because I mean, Tucci loves doing music and writes music and sings and does all the stuff that he does.
Renaissance man, for real.
He really is a renaissance. He's a man of a jack of all trades, for sure.
A few years ago, I read a script that he wrote that
he's insane.
Ethan showed me at the time. I was like, yeah, insane guy.
Every time I think about like, oh, who's like somebody from your school like that is actually like charismatic, I'm like, oh, Tucci. Like Tucci's really like charismatic when you meet them, and like just well-rounded. But homie, of course, the way he does was like, yeah, let's do this thing. And I think at the time I kind of operated as like the main non like rapper, so like the person who did all the like music. So like other than Landon and like Orlando like doing a lot of the mixing, mastering, and then some of the production, especially in the second album. But the first album was a lot of like just me and Landon messing together around on all types of synths and stuff. We even got this organ right here. It's actually that's the Lowry. The first album was called Lowry, and that's why. It's because we bought this organ from Goodwill for like $20.
Damn, I thought that this was just like...
No, we bought it from Goodwill for $20. We shoved it in the back of his Highlander, and we got that home. And that's like that's what a couple of the songs are like from, have this like on it.
Wow.
And so yeah, I mean, I do a lot of the like guitar parts and the synth parts and some of the drum stuff, and then Landon works a lot on the drum stuff too.
Yeah.
And then the girl singy stuff, the singy stuff.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't gone too much into it and listened to too much of it, but
there's stuff you listen to if you want. You don't have to. I mean, like, I wouldn't lie, it's not, I don't listen to a lot of rap anymore, honestly. I used to a lot more, I think, in high school when we were like getting it together, but now I feel like it definitely like a pick and choose type of thing, unless it's like, I don't know, there's some stuff I like, but
yeah. No, I feel that. But your solo stuff, or the stuff that you've been writing like recently, is that like, do you have any plans for what you're trying to like do in the future with like releases or anything type like that, or do you have like projects that you're working on, or like...
I like want to, so I have those like songs that I performed at the show, which except for one of them are all unreleased, and so like I want to get all those onto, I don't care if it's onto just the same thing as like my whatever, under my name or under a different name. I don't really care. I just want to get them out, and I want to do more rock stuff, like more shoegaze stuff, more like plug in play guitar type feel stuff. And I think a lot of that, is going to come down to like working with you and like getting to know a lot of the other people that we talk to at the show. But that's the goal. The goal is to get at least to get these like 4 songs that I have out, just recorded, done, and out. Yeah. I'm really bad at mixing and mastering those, so usually I'll get all the stems and I'm like,
hey, I'm not the worst.
You're probably much better than me.
Know people that are really good, so
I'll just send it your way.
Could always send it through to other people and stuff. But no, I'm it's funny, I did a producer battle thing that like my friend was live streaming on Twitch, and he got like 10 producers or something to get on that. And I like never consider myself a producer, but I made it to like the semifinals of that somehow, and it was a whole bunch of like rap producers and stuff like that. And I was like, oh damn, like I know how to make sound kind of good. I'd like surprise myself, because there were people in there that I was like, damn, they're really good. And
I feel like it's almost better when you're not thinking you're gonna win, because like you're like, I don't have anything to lose, let me just mess around. Also like,
and it was my homie that threw it too, so I was just like, fuck it.
I think Lando like was invited me to something like that, and was like, oh, do you want to like compete? And I was like, I'll definitely watch, but absolutely not in 30 minutes or whatever, 15 minutes, no.
It was
There's
just
no way.
It was like a beat battle thing, so it was just sending beats in.
Yeah, we just like pick one sample and then I can't do that.
Not even like that. It was just, if you have a beat, send it, and I just sent like beats that I made like a couple of months ago.
Okay, well I could do that.
That was chill.
Sometimes people do like the 15 minutes. Here's your sample. Choose your sample.
That's what I thought it would be.
And I was like, I don't mix up stuff like that very quick.
Yeah.
Give me a guitar and let's pick like a tuning, and I can do that. But that's about it.
But yeah, no, we should definitely get together and jam some stuff and write some stuff.
I'd love to anytime.
Gotta happen. So yeah, what like got you into making music, I guess, and like, you know, going from that point, because obviously like we were classically trained or whatever, but like I feel like there's a big like flip that happens between just learning musical instruments and like actually wanting to get into it and like record the songs and write songs and stuff like that. So
yeah,
how did you like get to that point?
I think I actually like, I feel like it's been like almost like a 3-part journey. Like the first journey was just like knowing that, I don't know, apparently ever since I was younger, I've just like loved music. I'm adopted, so my mom like went out of her way. When you adopt a kid at like 1.5, 2 years old, like they have a lot of, even though it's really young, they still have a lot of like weird traumas and like things that they're not exactly gonna, they missed a whole year of development, especially like because I'm from Russia, so like that they didn't have a lot of resources to like play with the kids, so like I kind of just sat there. So one thing my mom was suggested was like show her music therapy. Everybody talks about how like good it is for you, and it really is an amazing tool for development or for prolonging your development, whether it be for like older people or younger people. So my mom got me a guitar, got me into like lessons, did whatever she could, and I kind of just I always loved it, always wanted music on. I remember like playing guitar to like Brother Bear or whatever, trying to figure out the tuning. And then I feel like I went to like summer camps for guitar and like doing like music, like band, like little music camps, whatever it was, like school rock stuff, whatever. And then I went to ASA, which was a big change because for once I was like seeing, like I feel like before I was like the music kid, but like now I'm around a bunch of people who are objectively much better than me in every way, and also can like read music. I feel
that like right away you're just like, oh.
You're just like, oh, okay, so like I suck. Fuck, okay.
I went in as like a
and they're so nice too. Yeah, literally.
Yeah,
I was like
why do I want to become an arts kid? And then I was like, fuck it, and then I ended up kind of sticking with it. But being someone that was already doing music and then going into it, which there were so many people that were like, their parents must have been like, nail this down.
I know. I was like, some of these kids were like playing Tchaikovsky and shit when I was in 6th grade, and I was like, I can't read music yet because I have taken like I can read music on piano and that's it, but I couldn't read music on I didn't even know what like a trumpet was. I didn't know about like concert like tuning and stuff. Yeah. But I feel like ASA did a great job teaching you that really quickly. And then there was like that whole other thing, which is like doing everything in front of people, which is like you could also love to play music, do all this stuff alone, love to compose it, and then never want to play in front of people. And the fact that school made me do things. I remember I had your mom, and thank God she was so nice. But I used to leave.
My mom was a choir teacher. Now she's doing her own thing, but she was a choir teacher.
She was a really good choir teacher too. She was really nice to me, at least, because I was doing the most to try to not do those sight tests because you had to do them in front of people, and I was like leaving PCA. I was like walking around for as long as I could. She would like always just at the end be like, you can just come up and do it quietly. So slowly built my confidence there, and then I think like I was never, and then I've slowly got more comfortable maybe in like 8th grade, like when I was, I don't know, I always had like a computer. My dad's really into like technology, and he gave me the access to be able to like learn how to use GarageBand at a really young age, and I got into Logic, and then learned all that stuff, and all that was happening. I was learning how to like write, and then around me were like all these like, you know, Taylor and everybody doing their like little songy thingies, and I thought that was cool, but I was like, couldn't be me. So I just made my little stuff, put it on SoundCloud, and I was like, it's just gonna be like a thing that I like to do. I always wanted to be a music producer, but I never thought I'd be like performing or even want to perform. And then I think like the Jay Ford thing happened, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna have to use.
When was that?
That was literally the summer I graduated. Okay. But we had done stuff, or at least Tucci and I had done stuff the whole year before, because that's what the year I was like, I had always wanted to be a music producer. Like that was the plan. I just never wanted to use my own voice. I never wanted to be, if anything, I just wanted to be like an instrumentalist or a writer on stuff or a composer or producer. I didn't ever want to be the person on it. Like the first album I like put out technically was the one that was like called a final project. It's on SoundCloud, and it does have like, it has Taylor on it. It had Shanker on it. I'm pretty sure that's how I started the what's it called? The 7th Hour podcast.
Okay. I vaguely remember
I remember
that.
Belaganas was the first one that we did, and it was funny because it was like when Belaganas I only knew Shanker at the time. I didn't even really know who Shanker was. I was like, who is this little kid, Ethan? I didn't know who this kid was.
Yeah.
And I remember he the whole interview, he's like, I whispered the whole time, and I had a boost. And even if you go back, and I think it's still up, if you go back and listen to it, and this is also on me, and this will go back to my mixing skills, I definitely could have boosted it more, but he definitely could have spoke up.
Yeah,
because it was gained enough that you could hear Caitlin just fine.
He's a soft-spoken,
and back then too, and he was just starting as before everything, very different person than now. Very, very quiet person as opposed to now.
So just for a little bit of context, so Shanker is a artist that now lives in California and is doing a whole other band thing, but he had a rap has a little rap band called Belaganas that I was doing the video stuff for. So when I was talking about that situation with Jamie, a little bit, I kind of got into it, but that was the band that I was doing video stuff for.
That's kind of how I got to know who you were, because you did something really cool. Like, I feel like you were a big part of like making people care about like a lot of this. Because I don't know, like I feel like engagement is a big thing, and especially like this was like kind of this was before TikTok was even really TikTok. So like making like all those videos and all the promotions and all the like photo shoots that you guys did.
Yeah,
like,
we
kind of badasses. I mean,
we
it
were
made
ahead of the curve a little bit.
Really ahead of the curve. I remember people like were looking like oh, like that's the posse, and like, oh, like that's their like creative like director dude. Like that's the dude that does all the directing stuff. That's the guy that does all the stuff. I remember the people used to call like the creative dude. The creative dude. It was always like, oh, that one creative dude.
Damn, I didn't even know about that.
There was like a comment on TikTok a while ago, and I remember reading it and be like, I wonder if the creative dude is Derek. And I remember going back through and being like, oh yeah, his mom was my teacher. And I was like, yep, it's Derek.
Yeah, that's sick. What the hell? Wow.
Yeah, but so we did that.
Yeah.
And I feel like we performed with Belaganas too at a house show for Jay Ford or whatever. So I got into Jay Ford and I was like, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to be on an album, but it's going to be fine because I'm going to make me and Landon spend all of our time hand tuning every single note on that album, which is crazy because there's still things we missed. And so like,
really,
it was bad. Like I still don't have a great voice, but like, it was pretty fucking rough. But it was okay. It was really good thanks to all the effort that was put in post. But then we had to do stuff live, and I was like, I did not like that at all. I felt like I sounded stupid and I didn't sound very good, and it didn't like connect very well. And then I don't know, something happened between the time that like that stopped, and because I went to DC for school. So I like moved away for most of the year, and then we would come back during the summers, and we would like hang out as like a little band. We wouldn't like really do anything. That's when we kind of wrote the second album. And at that point I was like, so I went to a school for like politics and statistics. So I didn't do a lot of music, and I didn't really get involved with a lot of music stuff because I moved across the country and I didn't really know anybody.
Where were you at again?
I was at American University,
it's
in Washington D.C.
Washington D.C.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I moved there, and I joined the radio station. So I did like a lot of cool stuff involving musicians, but never playing music. So a lot of the time I was spent in my own room, kind of figuring stuff out and being like, oh, I literally only have me to sing, so I'm gonna have to figure this out. And so I eventually did, and then I don't know, something just changed when I moved back to Arizona, like during the pandemic. I like got way more into like shoegaze and way more into like stuff that I originally liked when I was like stuff that I liked, but like was more of a callback, like, you know, Sonic Youth type stuff, like just really using my guitar and like being like, I can do more than just play classical music and then play accompaniment or play like little licks and parts. Like I can make like whole orchestras out of guitars if I wanted to. Yeah. And so I got really into that, and then I was like, wait a second, my voice is actually probably maybe fit for that a little bit better. Yeah. And then like, listening to like all the music, like indie music and stuff that's been coming out recently, and like maybe even I'd even say like listening to like the Better Oblivion Club Better Oblivion Community. People are gonna get mad at me for that one. But yeah, they were like, singer songwriter. It's Connor Oberst from Bright Eyes. And
See, I'm so disconnected from so much.
and Phoebe
when it
Bridgers
comes to,
might be the one.
Phoebe Bridgers,
Okay, well, Connor Oberst is
yeah.
like, you know the guy that sings like, "This is the first day of my life, sir. I was born right in this doorway."
maybe if I
It's like a
heard
little
it,
guitar.
it'd probably be that, yeah.
But yeah, that's a guy. That's a
It's
bright
not
eyes
the.
guy.
No, I'm thinking of a different song.
This is the first day of my life, sir. I was born right in this doorway. Okay, well,
I'm like I said, I'm just so like I'm in my own
you
little
have
bubble.
two singers for parents.
I know. I'm in my own little bubble, but hey, choir singers, so it's like
Yeah,
they were
your
really,
mom
like,
knows music though.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I just
No, I feel
make
you.
my music, do my thing, and then listen to the same shit I've been listening to for like 10 years, and it's kind of
There's
where
nothing
I'm
like
at.
comfort of
Yeah.
routine, right?
Well, and just the comfort of artists. Like I feel like I've liked seeing an artist grow and like become who they've become over the last like 10 years.
So who is your
So-
artist then?
Who's
Who's the artist?
I'll say first of all, this is so funny because Jamie and I really connected because we both like Dominic Fike.
Oh,
and
fuck
like
yeah.
he was someone that like right out the gate, and I know he had like a whole lore, everything else in Florida when he was doing like rap stuff. They have no idea about any of that stuff, but like right when his first demo tape came out and like 3 nights blew up, that's when
Right.
I was like, when I heard that song, I was like, no, there's something special about this guy. It's not just some like pop song that is, or like some song that blew up or whatever. Like, and then I went back, listened to everything that he's done, and then I'm obviously not the only person that did that because he is
Homie is very,
huge.
very successful.
Yeah.
No, I'd agree with you with that.
Camera, shut up.
What was like the first time? Did Dominic Fike do something with fucking Brockhampton before he
Yes.
Yeah.
They did.
I feel like that's how I figured that out.
No, they made that song. Was it? God,
I don't even
I'm bad
remember
with
which
names.
song.
Peaches.
Was it Peaches? Yeah.
Let me fucking shower. Whatever the fuck. Georgia.
What was it? Something write my name on your bathroom
Yeah.
mirror. Fuck, why can't I think of all I can think of? I got Georgia on my mind. Nobody.
No, it was
just me.
shit.
I feel like I got really into Kevin Abstract.
Yeah. That was another one. Brockhampton. I kind of fell.
I feel like maybe it's because like I am also a gay person, but I was like I liked how like masculine Kevin Abstract was able to show queerness, which is like I like appreciated that aspect of it, that like queerness could be like badass and like hard, not also just like fabulous. Like I'm like I'm not any of that shit. Like
I feel like there was a big, I mean,
or like the big
wave.
F
Same with,
slur
like,
on the back of the. I was like, I want that with like on it.
Yeah. What was it? Yeah, it was this one. It was Peach. It was a Kevin Abstract song.
Let me fuck in the shower.
Yeah,
we should
but
fucking do that
do
live.
a little cover. Another fucking Dominic Fike cover, dude.
We should do it, but we should do it like super like intensely like over affected like for guitars.
Yeah. No.
Instead of like the cute little ding, ding.
I swear to God, I'm gonna have Dominic Fike on this shit one day and then tell him I'm so sorry for being the only artist that I've ever mentioned at all.
I'm so
My
sorry
life.
that you're
I'm
holding
I'm
up
so
this
sorry. I
podcast.
swear I'm not that fucking weird. I'm not that.
Listen, if homie can handle being on Euphoria, then I think you'll be okay.
Bro's chilling.
You see what they made him do on Euphoria? You'll be okay. You'll be.
Yeah. You were saying, so I know I forgot exactly what you said, but I was thinking about this earlier. But the whole actually, I'm rephrasing it. Separate question. So when you were like, okay, I don't really have anyone else to sing on this, so I'm gonna sing on it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like that took a minute to like gain confidence doing that? Like when did that kind of go like, no, I actually fuck with what I'm doing, instead of being like, at least from my perspective.
No,
and
it's like brand
my
new
situation, right? When I started like singing on my own shit, it took such a long time for me to be like, okay, no, like I like where I'm going with this. I like the sound that I'm creating, and like actually my voice now. Like it was really weird to start with my voice and be like, you know what I mean? But then
I think it was a really, really slow build. I was like, there was times during J Ford when we did stuff, especially because bless his heart, Landon, being so patient with me, because I would like write whole songs. And I guess part of the issue is that I liked my writing. I liked the melodies I was coming up with. I liked the idea. I hated my execution. The execution was not there in my opinion, especially because I was like, I really like this song idea, and I hate when I hear a song where I'm like, that song is so good if only someone else sang it. That is one of my most upsetting things to me.
Yeah.
As a music listener, so I'd hate to do that. But then I'm like, you know what? There's a million demos in the world out there of songs that I love that came out that were written before the song that I love was written. So maybe I should just give it a chance. So I kind of had to get into that, and then also Landon being so patient and going through and being like, let's find the effects that you like. Let's find the auto-tune that's perfect in between, like you not sounding pitchy, but also you not sounding like you're Kanye West and Stronger. You know, like let's find something in between you and Daft Punk that will work. Like, and so once I found that, I liked it in the moment, and then I usually ended up hating everything about less than a month later. But it would be enough that like it got done, and then slowly as I started to change the type of music, and like I've always done like rock music on my own, like I always like, people always said that like I made music for like, I'm sorry,
it's okay,
people always said I made music for like movies and stuff, like I made like cinematic, because I think part of that was because like I just like layering like piano, guitar, synths, anything to layer, and then relying heavily on like before I got comfortable like really singing and saying things, I would just do like oohs and ahs, because like you can't really fuck that up if you can auto-tune it. So I grew into that, and then I started doing more stuff, and I think it honestly wasn't until like literally right after this demo and doing stuff with this demo that I was like, not even that I like it, but I am okay with it. I listen to it and I'm not like recoiling in actual pain, which I love. Like I loved my experience with J Ford, but like my own performance on some of that stuff, I'm like,
that's how I am about everything that I've ever done in the past.
I'm like, just listen to the guitar parts that I did. Those were cool. Just focus on that. I'm definitely not singing anywhere. Focus on the rap parts.
Well, I'm gonna go back and listen to all of them, and I'll keep that in mind.
Listen to go ahead and don't let me know when you do that.
Okay. Got it.
But yeah, no, doing the demo stuff. I don't know if it was. I don't really know what changed, and I think I honestly had like a second puberty. Like my voice got even lower, which I feel like I've always had a lower voice. Like I've always been like an alto, have a lower voice. Like people always been like, I remember once somebody called my voice husky, and I was like, are you calling my voice fat right now? Are you fat shaming my voice? It was somebody's
Of course it was.
Yo, right? And I was like, yo, you make more sense to me now.
I will be happy if I never.
Oh, good luck for you. Yeah, lucky you. You know how many times I've seen that person since I've graduated because of the
times as well.
Okay, yeah. So someone called my voice husky, and so I think I had a second puberty. I guess my voice got even fatter. I don't know. I feel like fat and low are like equivalent. Nothing wrong with being fat, so who fucking cares? But yeah. So and then I'm like, oh, it's. I still like it more. Like I would actually decently like it. Like I feel like if me and Jamie sang together or whatever, like it would sound really cool. I feel like Landon really helped me too throughout the demos because he did a lot of the like backup vocals on it, and hearing it with like a male voice on top of it, especially a male voice that is like higher than my female voice is low.
Did you have you had a guy on your demo tape, right? I had Tucci and I had Landon. Tucci was on Phoebe. Okay. And Landon was on all the other ones that sound like a dude. Okay. Unless it was me. Because I was wondering for a second, some of them were like way in the background that I couldn't tell if you just like pitched your voice down or like. Yeah, no, that was Landon. I mean, some of the actually. You probably can kind of tell though. The ones that sound like Landon, now you'll listen like and they sound like him. They're him. Yeah. But it works really well. And now I'm like it's fine. It works. It's there. I appreciate the fact that I kept with it enough that I like can sing at least somewhat in key now. Yeah. Not loud. You are a loud drummer, sir. I literally blew my. Are you guys wearing earplugs? I am. No,
is Jamie?
I'm wearing. So we have click tracks that I made for everything. So like I am following.
Okay, so you have in-ears.
Yeah. Well, $9 earbuds from the store.
You know what I mean. You have an
Yeah.
in-ear track.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But and sometimes we have done it in the past.
What do you do for that? Do you run it on like Logic or do you have like
I
main
run it on
stage?
Logic. I can show you it.
Yeah,
after this
we
if
have
it's
to like
still on
run
my
that
thing.
down.
But yeah, and we've done like tracks before. Actually, I'm gonna put you on some game real quick for all you live people out there. So what we've done in the past, and this is in big thanks to Belaganis. I'm not gonna lie, because I saw them do this and how it worked, and or at least like heard them talking about it, and then that turned it into like me remembering that and then realizing what to do for live tracks. But yeah, I put the click in my right ear. I like make sure to pan it all the way into right, and then if you have any tracks that are going through the speakers, pan it into left.
Okay.
And then do the left out to the house, and then everything into your
Everything else into
headphones.
your-
Yeah.
Okay.
So like right, you just don't even fucking.
I was trying to figure out an in-ear situation, but I was like, I didn't know what Shaman's mixer situation was.
Yeah,
So I was like, I don't know.
Honestly, so what I was gonna say is in the past with Jamie and my homie Graham and Creed, and I've made a
Creed?
And Creed. You might know him, maybe not really.
Wait,
I don't know.
what's their name?
Graham. He went to ASA for 6 months in my sophomore year. So
when you were a sophomore?
yes,
So
for 6 months.
I was a senior?
Yes, he went for like a second and then he left, but we stayed like friends through
I'm
the whole
not
thing.
gonna remember that.
Yeah, but he was on my song Frontlines, if you've heard that
Yeah.
at all. Yeah. So he's that guy.
Okay.
But what we did, I also have a little group called Drugs of Choice as well. That's what I like started drumming with my friend Megan, and we did this as well. So what I do is I just run everything through my interface, put a splitter on the headphones, and then run like a long headphone extension to Singer and to me, so that we both have the in-ear things. And what I want to get better at doing is running the mics completely through Logic as well.
Yeah.
To have all the effects and everything just like on there.
We need to talk about this
Yeah,
after,
yeah,
because
yeah.
I need to show you main stage.
Okay.
That's literally what it's
Yeah,
for.
I
It's
heard-
like and you can use my main stage.
Heard
if you
about
want.
it. Heard about it.
Like,
But like just the name. I've just run everything through Logic, so.
Yeah, I was like
Yeah.
literally, because you can set everything up in Logic, and then like if you want to like borrow my computer the day of, or just log into my like, we can make a user on there that you can
Yeah.
just have the main stage on your, you know how you can have like two users,
Yeah.
for live stuff, but like main stage, because that's what I'm trying to figure out. But I'm just trying to figure out how to like work it live, because that's what I want to use, because I don't have, and I want to be able to do shows before I like start getting a bunch of pedals and stuff. Like eventually I want to have all this analog stuff, but like realistically here,
Well, realistically,
I'm
it's
gonna
like
need to use digital stuff, and
Well,
I have a nice computer right there that can do it.
And it's like it's the mixing of the analog and the digital that like is really what's going to, like that's the important part of it, because that is how it like
That's how it is.
Because 100% analog, I feel like can like a lot of things can not necessarily go wrong, but you could just do it better doing half and half.
It's just it's nice and fuzzy in person, but when you try to deal with it from the recording standpoint, it becomes a whole different issue.
Yeah.
And like it's better, and sometimes it is easier to just have everything all in one. Like if one thing goes down, like if I had a big muff and that was the majority of what I was using, and that one pedal breaks in one time,
Right.
Well, then shit.
Yeah.
I mean, on the same note, I could like spill something on my computer, and then my whole computer could be gone. But
also, I mean, you can automate everything with the set on. Like you could automate like this turns on here, this turns on here, this turns off here, whatever. Like even in the set. So that's something I want to get better at, but I don't know if my computer can take it right now.
yeah,
so,
you'll have to check out main stage, and like you
Yeah.
can use my computer for that. But
Yeah.
where were we?
We've just gone up.
Low voice. I don't know. I was just saying. I think my voice has gotten a lot better. It's not amazing. I'm happy with it though, and I'm happy with my guitar playing, because that's always
That was
gets
one
better.
thing. I don't know if you watched it, but the last the podcast I did with Jamie, right? Did you watch it? No.
I watched it, but I was watching it while I was getting ready today.
Okay. He was, because we were talking about like how it would be very helpful for a lot of people that are doing track-based songs, or track-based like sets, to maybe have like at least one instrument up there, you know what I mean? And he was saying that was one thing that was really eye-opening, was just the fact that you were up there. It was you, your guitar, and your singing, and you blew everyone away. Like, that was something that we were like, yeah, no, it's massive. Like, you legitimately, I'm so excited to do more shows together, because I'm
absolutely,
so
please.
excited to see how everything is. And I know that you like, or not how everything, just how everything unfolds, and also just like how we get better as individuals, and like together when we make songs together and stuff. Like, that's, I don't know, it's just exciting, and I think it will be really cool, and you killed it. And I know you were saying that you're like, you want to venture into like different modes of you know, like different, you know, band stuff, doing stuff together, doing everything together, whatever. But I feel like it is worth saying that you alone, singing and guitar, absolutely fucking killed it. And don't ever be like, I can't do this without people, because you literally can. You know what I mean? Like, you fucking killed it, dude. Like,
no, thank you, because I don't think like that show like was so. I'm not like great at taking compliments, but the amount of people that were just being so unbelievably kind, and I truly like believe that they did think those things, and I was like, that's awesome, because I also had gone to Mexico for a full week before that, and I couldn't bring my guitar, obviously, and so I was just really nervous. I'm not really great at memorizing my lyrics either. Like, I had my little paper, but I was like, I have fun on stage, and especially like when it's dark and I don't have to like look at anybody. But I had a lot of fun, and I was like, I did work really hard for the 4 days when I was back in the time before, just trying my best to be like, let me make sure this sounds like, because I knew we were going to be upstage with like people after and before, people with like drums and maybe even like a whole band. And I was like, I'm going to sound so silly if I do what I always have done in the past, which is just me, a clean track, like literally clean channel, no distortion or anything. And I was like, it's gonna sound really fucking stupid. So I was like, I tried with the pedals and stuff. I even got like stuff working, and I feel like it worked. It wasn't like, I definitely felt like I did a lot better through practicing, but I was like, I didn't have a chance to sound check. So like, given all that, like, I was really happy.
One thing we need to do,
is
get you like 20 guitars for all your tuning, so you can just
I need to get a guitar stand. That's literally what the main thing I could literally do it. I have like 4 tunings that I use, but but 2 of them are just like the same tuning, but with like 1 or 2 strings different. But I do have like one's awesome, C sharp or C unique. And one's D.
It's very unique sound, very cool. But that was
I'm so sorry between like, everyone.
No. That's not. I'm not like.
I did like 4 songs, and it was 20 minutes.
The biggest grain of salt in the world, or smallest grain, whatever the fuck. Because I don't mean that in like.
No, it gives me a chance to be like talk amongst. It makes me feel less like awkward too, because I'll be like, you just talk. Please do. Like, I don't find that disrespectful. If you do as an artist, please, like, by all means. But I give them permission.
It almost is cool too, because it's like, you like, each song is like a different like experience, instead of just going like on to the next. You know what I mean? It's like, it really does make the whole like. I
think like also playing guitar when I was younger, it like pissed me off when people did that, like on the next, and it was just C, G, E minor, A minor, and I'm like, I don't want to be able to know how to play all these guitars, like the guitar parts. Like, I want to like keep me guessing, keep me thinking. I want to know what the hell is going on.
No, it's sick. It's sick. That was just a joke.
No, but I do. I need. You know I need other. I do.
Yeah.
I guess I have the 2.
Well, I've got like 2 as well. If you
just it was like if I next time. No, literally next time I just need to talk to people ahead of time and borrow their guitars and just be like, I just need. Another thing, I need someone who knows how to tune a guitar so that they can tune them for me and check them ahead of time.
Yeah. Well, that's actually
said someone roadie, please.
You know, so Aiden. Not Aiden Lipton, but Aiden, the guy that was playing bass for Morningstar. Yeah. He has his it's called awesome. A Helix. I'm
that's the pedal.
Yeah. Where like you literally just plug it in, tune, like you just watch the tuning.
Yeah, they were letting me use it for the tuning, and also they were saying that like for some of my songs they can do, because like some of my songs are just a whole half step up, like but they're tuned differently because my voice don't be going certain places. So like they were like, oh, you could do this, and then I would only have to tune like 2 or 3 inches, but then I have to rethink the fretting of everything, and like like I put like little markings on the side of my fretboard so that I can see them. I'm also like night blind, so playing at night is really hard. I need glow in the dark stickers, bro.
Yeah. Hey, that's why I like how you said earlier, like I like just playing where like I don't have to really like see people and it's like dark or whatever. That's 100% why I wear the sunglasses now, because I'm like, yeah, that's 100% not.
I always thought about wearing a mask, but I was like, I don't want people to think it's like I just really don't want to.
I mean,
be perceived.
It looks douchey half the time, but I'm also.
But you're behind
like,
a whole drum set, so it's fine. If anybody gets to be douchey, it's the person who doesn't get to like walk around on stage.
Fair.
You know?
Fair.
Yeah. How many bands are you in, honestly, right now?
Oh shit.
Like, do you have time for all this stuff? I'm like,
I actually feel bad whenever I'm like, do you want to, like, whenever anyone's like, yo, I want to play with you, but like I also know that you have a whole bunch of shit. First of all, I will make time. I don't know.
I just got to be good enough that you want to make time.
No, you're good. You're good. But no, yeah, I guess I have my solo stuff, which honestly comes first in my head because it has to, because I've put other people and other things first that I like that ended up working towards my detriment. You know what I mean?
That seems familiar.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean my own stuff first. What really got me into drumming, I guess, was making Drugs of Choice, which was that duo with my friend, and I started performing her solo songs and stuff as well. That got me into drumming a little bit more, because that was a situation where I was like, how are we going to perform these? Like, she doesn't play guitar, she plays keyboard, which like would be cool live, but it's also like you can't just go up with like only a keyboard when it's a whole produced song, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like also different effects and stuff.
Which like you could, I feel like that would be cool if it was someone with tracks and a keyboard, like that would still be dope. But I was like, how will this live end up being cool and like actually something that people want to watch and stuff? So I picked up drumming, and got drums, picked up drumming, and then my friend and Creed Graham hit me up and was like, or actually I hit him up to do a show at Pub Rock. I don't know if but I put together this whole entire show at Pub Rock that was like a couple rapper friends, and I hit up Graham and I was like, hey, do you guys want to come out for this? Him and his friend Arvin, another artist that's dope. And he was like, yeah, you want to drum for us? And I was like, yeah, fuck it. So I ended up drumming for him too, or them too, you know what I mean? And then we did that. And then from that, there was another show that came up that Jamie wasn't throwing it, I don't think. I think it was thrown by another person, but Jamie was going to play in it.
Right.
So were him and Arvin. So he was like, do you want to come out play for this show? And also my friend's looking for a drummer, so do you want to drum for him as well? And that ended up being Jamie. And then so I drummed for two bands that night. And through rehearsing and stuff with Jamie, we like clicked. And then that was something where it was like, okay, let's keep doing it this way, like as Morningstar. And also Graham was playing bass for him, so it was like kind of just everything worked well together. And then I just continued playing with Morningstar. The bassist Aiden, he also has started a band that I'm drumming for called Day Trip to Sedona, so that's also like another side thing.
So a lot,
yeah. But this year I want to get to the point where not get to the point, but I want to add in my solo stuff and making my solo stuff live in a band setting. That's a priority for me this year, but also not like a priority that I'm pushing at all. Cause it's like, if it just comes together and ends up working, I'll do that. You know what I mean? And like get that. I just want to, by the end of the year, have at least one performance that's like my music. I'm singing, I have a band, but the problem is I can't find a drummer that or not that I can't find a drummer but there's just like, I feel like I'm, you know, it would be hard to find a drummer that I'm like, okay, I'll fuck with you. You know?
Yeah, because you're picky. You're drumming, so like, you know, you want stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta find your Taylor Hawkins or whatever.
Yeah.
To your Dave Grohl.
For real. Type
but
shit.
Literally, I was like, I must have been a hard pick for him. But no, I mean, I wish I could help you there, but I there's just you for drumming.
Yeah,
so,
I
too
don't
could
even
not
fucking
find
know.
drummer until you.
There are a couple people I've met that I'm like, I fuck
If you need
with
guitarists, though, let me know.
Yeah, fuck it, dude. Yeah, but yeah, that's kind of just how it is. I guess that's 4 bands, but Drugs of Choice is kind of like up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And Creed is moving out here in June to move in with me actually, and that's exciting because just
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be super dope.
I love that.
And Morningstar is Morningstar, and yeah, Day Trip to Sedona is kind of just like that's Aiden's baby, and I'm just there. I'm
you just
along
letting
for the
it
ride.
ride out with them.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's it's fun. I enjoy drumming a lot. That's part of the reason why I'm not like tripping about it too much, because I'm like, I really enjoy this, and it's weird because I'm realizing that like I can learn a lot of different sets, like, and memorize them and be able to muscle memory it through a lot of different sets now. So it's like, and learning songs for me as I'm getting better is a lot easier than it used to be. So it's like, it's kind of just like bring it on. Like I want to drum
until
as
you're
much
like,
as
I'm
possible.
just too much. You're just gonna keep going and adding it. Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's good to keep you. I mean, it's obviously like it puts you in like the community more. Like more people know you, the more stuff you're able to do, and like we said, you're a jack of all trades too in a lot of ways. So like it can't hurt.
Yeah. It's fun. It's good. I think it's really weird. I wouldn't have like necessarily seen myself get into drumming the way that I got into drumming, but I got into drumming.
It's very random, but you go very good very quickly, and it's kind of fucked up. Like it's kind of rude. I don't know if I like it. Like I don't know if it makes me happy or just like pissed off a little bit that like.
Me too.
I had like a whole drum set in my house, and I try it every day, and I'm like, I'm not bad at. I can play guitar. I play like fun stuff on guitar sometimes. Yeah. No, I can't. These are not going to be doing different things.
I feel like with drumming, it's kind of like you learn how to do it, and then you learn how to do it. You know what I mean? Like
I guess I am the one who needs a click track, like burning my ear when I record though. So maybe I should have picked something.
That's me every live time. Yeah.
That's pretty valid. Yeah. So sorry, I'm a rusher. I'm Russian. What can I say?
But yeah, that's kind of how that ended up happening, and it's weird to think. Just subtle flex, real quick. But the first time I played drums live was First Friday 2023, and that was like I was going on there to do my solo stuff, just like tracks and me.
First Friday. How do you do that?
We can.
Yeah,
let
me know.
We'll work something out because.
I don't care if I just even have to play the guitar in the background. I just want to play stuff.
yeah. For real, you can even. But we played at Bud's Glass Joint thanks to Lorenzo.
Oh fuck! I saw you post about that. And I remember being like, "Oh, my friends like we should pull up." But then we ended up doing something else.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I got stuck working. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks to Lorenzo. Fucking legitimately.
Lorenzo?
He works there. Yeah.
I did not know that.
And then he connected.
Lorenzo was on my first album.
Lorenzo fucking lit. We started a couple
Young
songs
Ruffian.
together. Yeah,
that's
Young
what they.
Ruffian,
Yeah. I was like, I remember.
Yep.
I remember because you read things, but you don't actually like read what they're saying, so you make something up in your head. I used to call him Young Ruffalo the whole time I was working on that album, and it said like featuring Young Ruffy, but in my head, because I think that was like their Insta thing for a while too.
Yeah.
I literally just read it as Young Ruffalo, and I just kept thinking of Mark Ruffalo. But Lorenzo, what the fuck up?
Yeah,
man?
he's what the fuck up, bro? Just fucking hit me up, bro. What the fuck?
Speaking of guitar classes,
bro.
I was never in a guitar class with them, but I did TA stuff with them. So.
Yeah. But yeah, I was going there in December to do a solo show, and then there was a rapper that was trying to get a band together, and I was like, I can maybe just drum for you, and then I drummed for her, and then first time drumming live, and then it went from there. But anyway, I'll stop ranting about
you did it. I'm not really surprised that like I feel like drumming's one of those things that like people aren't always good at being both live drummers versus like in studio drummers. Like I've met drummers that like take a second to like, I mean, once they get it, but take a second to like be in the studio. And I met drummers that like live, they are just either unbearable as a human or just playing so fast, so loud. But like even with you, like you play loud, but the amps were loud, so like you gave plenty of space.
Yeah.
So like I feel like that. Maybe it's just because you have so much experience in like the music in general, doing choir, doing band, doing everything.
Yeah, but there's also like there's a showmanship to drumming that I'm trying to get down that I don't really think I have down.
Like the
quite yet, but. No, I mean I'm not doing all that. I'm not doing all that.
Trying to be what's that guy? Like Cooper drummer, the big drummer.
Oh,
the drummer on YouTube.
The big guy with the beard.
I don't know. He used to play like I think he's called like Cooper drummer with like threes. He's like huge, but I just remember he was on the marching band for like Ohio State, which is like obviously a huge marching band.
Yeah.
But he did like the main drums. But he tossing that shit. I'm like,
yeah, that's a.
Can you imagine if we did that with picks as guitars?
Yeah, you're just like.
I should start guitaring or playing guitar with a tech deck and just doing like trick. I don't even play with a fucking pick, so I don't know what I'm thinking. But if I could, I would literally do
just on the side of the guitar, just do some flip trips.
All right, tray flip. I wish I could do a tray flip on anything.
That would be some. That would
even
be some
a fucking
crazy clips. You need TikTok would.
Fuck it. Let's quit all this and just do a handboard. YouTube channel.
No more music. Handboarding.
No more music. Nope. We're giving up it all. Nope. We're selling it all to start handboarding.
So yeah, no more music. Handboards for life. Let's fucking go.
Handboards, fingerboards. We're starting a new channel.
Yep. Handboards and fingerboards with Young Ruffian.
Fingerboards with Derek.
We gotta get Lorenzo on it.
Yeah, featuring Young Ruffian. Featuring Mark Ruffalo.
But yeah, it was fucking great to talk, dude.
It was wonderful chatting.
It was great.
It was great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Check out my music.
Check out our music.
Someday I'll have actual stuff out there.
You have actual stuff out there.
Maybe I'll just like drop the stuff that we did on like SoundCloud or something. I don't know. I want to put it on Spotify eventually. It's just not mixed. Or
well,
mastered.
we should also
actually record the drums.
Yeah. Because there's.
I also should re-record all my guitar parts too. But you know,
hey, it's written.
To each their own.
To each their own.
It is written, and that's a lot more than a lot of my songs are.
We're gonna get more sessions in and stuff, and not even more. We haven't even done a session yet.
Lucky for you, all my songs are like max 2 minutes long, so like you don't even need to worry about it.
Yeah, easy. But yeah, check out her stuff. It will be down in the description. Thank you for tuning in to Notes. What do you think about that, by the way?
Notes
as a podcast
I
name.
like it.
Very simplistic.
No, I like it because it reminds me of the Notes app in my phone.
That too.
Because especially, I think it's good because isn't that what like every songwriter uses for their
I was
music?
like music notes, Notes app, notes like
every musician has notes.
Everything about
notes. And I feel like every musician these days who uses technology has this type of shit, which is like this is our song
Dude,
thing. Like literally that's mine. Mine is organized by I cried when my old phone got deleted, and the only thing I cared about was this. I don't even care about my photos.
Mine is all over the place, and I have